This is our 300 series Toyota Landcruiser, and the mission is simple: build the ultimate family tourer. We started with a brand new rig and got straight to work. Bar work, winch, protection inside and out, roof rack, UHF and plenty more. Setting the foundation for something built to travel Australia. But we're nowhere near done. In this episode, we're back in the shed, stepping things up with the next round of big, exciting mods. Proudly supported by Opus, Ultima 9, Superior Engineering, GME, Adventure Kings, and in part by...
It's another day in the shed. We're working on the LC 300 series. Today, we're going to put in a full Superior lift kit to make it not look as crap as it does. We've got a rack on now, we've got a bit of bar work. We need to bring the car up to make it all look like it's not skip leg day. As you can see behind me, we have a full Superior Engineering 2-inch lift, and I'm utilising their ECDS electronic suspension. This is a whole lot different to what we're used to, so I'll work with it all through. I'll work through it all with you as I go. I'm pretty sure we have a panhard, upper front control arms, lower rear control arms, upper rear control arms, rear springs, the electric shocks and coils, a couple of like coil tower braces and a few bits and pieces. So let's rip in, get this in the car. First step, I've got the hoist under the car. Now I'm going to put the car on up and make sure it's safe. We need to check that all the hoist feet are in the right position. Next step, I'm going to rip these wheels off and make it a lot easier to get the suspension components. What size are we, Toyota? 21, not 22. Toyota shank nuts. They love their shank nuts. So that's all the wheels off. I'm going to start on the back suspension on this vehicle. All right, first thing I'm going to do is we have upper and lower control arms. The uppers are adjustable. So I want to take a base measurement of what this pinion angle is so that I can at least have a starting point to where to put the other ones, even though it'll probably change when I raise the car up, but it's a good base. So I've got the digital inclinometer, 10.2 degrees. I'm gonna write that down, don't let me forget it. Before I go rip, tearing and busting the suspension out of this thing, safety first. So I can't just pull all the arms out, the diff will fall out. I have a couple of, hoist support stands. So you can hold the diff up, take out a component, and the diff won't fall out. First thing I'm gonna change out, nice easy, rear panhard. So we've got an adjustable heavy duty chromoly one. It's gonna be a lot stronger than this, but the benefit is it's adjustable. So when you jack it up, you can center the diff under the car, which I don't have an exact length it's gonna need to be. I'm either gonna have to put it in, lower it down, take some measurements, do it. But the easiest way is, we're gonna have to get a wheel alignment after this anyway. I'm gonna let Damo, my boy, at Lights Tire and Auto, figure it out for me. Before that one comes out, we'll switch to the next one, loosen them both. Boom. So this is crazy thin. So I reckon this is hollow. The new one is much stronger than this. So this is gonna be well off, but Damo can fix it in his wheel alignment. So I'm just running them down, not doing them up, because they need to be done up when the car has all its weight on it on the ground. Just pretty much just a firm little snug is all you need. Next up, undo the shock, because I can't undo this lower control arm because the bolt goes through where the shock is. One shock out, so now I can get that lower control arm in. Rear springs, they've sent out these EFS. These will just be 2-inch load rated. Just get these open and in the car. As you can see, that one is about 1 inch longer than that one, and the spring diameter is actually thicker. So it's gonna take more weight and be taller. I've got to get the bump stop into the spring, and then we'll get the spring up into the car. It's got a locator on the bottom. We want to put the spring into the locator. Next job up, lower control arm. One little tiny control arm out. So, as far as I'm aware, these do not come in the normal 2-inch lift kit. We've opted for extras for a bit of strength because these are piss weak. This is the guy she tells you not to worry about. This is you, mate. It's not on. And remember not to do these up fully tight until you're on the ground. Now that we got these beautiful billet lowers in, the upper control arm needs to be undone because I have adjustable upper control arms to go in as well. So this is what come out of the upper. This is what's going in. I obviously need to adjust it. This is factory length and this is just adjustable. So I'll put these on the ground, get them the same length. We'll start there. Next step, that fucking hurt. Hit me in the ankle. Next step, I want to get the shocks in, but before I get the shocks in, I've got to get the shock resi mounts, which I'm pretty sure mount just here. You fucking... I think it's going to be easier with the lower arm out. That'll just give me more room to get my hands in there to do up the nuts. Let's get this in time. You also do need to Loctite all the fasteners unless it specifies otherwise. This shock has a spherical ball on the bottom, so I can do that up with it in the air, same as the top one. Get a torque wrench, find out what your bolts need to be set to, and then torque them up. Torqued. I've got this side of the car done on this back corner. Now I'm going to switch to the other side and get all that in. Now that I've smashed this side out, I have these. You're probably thinking, what are these? These are stainless steel bash plates, little sliders for your alloy arms. Alloy is soft, rocks will dig into it and eat it. So they give you stainless steel, very strong, very tough, and it looks great. Little Made in Australia logo, can't go wrong. Let's get these in the car. So they just slide over, and then they supply a whole bunch of little stainless Allen screws.
That was the rear suspension on the 300 just about done, so it's time to move on to the front.
Installed. All right, so I'm gonna fit the remote resi mounts first. I need to remove that one and this one. These do go back on after, I'm pretty sure. It's gonna go there like that. And then up this top hole where there was a clip, we have a little zinc plated plate, which goes in here. So next job is the shock and the upper control arms sort of both go at the same time. There's one really big bolt that goes through here, which looks like there's an ECU in the way over here. I'll have to either just unbolt the mounts, pull that out of the way to get that long bolt all the way forward to get it out. And then also a couple of things like undo the ABS lines because we don't want broken ABS sensors. So once we get them undone, pull the pin out of this castle nut, undo the castle nut, undo these, undo that. Boom, suspension's bada bing, bada boom. So as you can see, I've got a bit on, I've got the airbox out, ECU unplugged, and now I'm unbolting the ECU. I've already got the negative disconnected off the battery, if anyone was wondering. So I'll get this ECU out of the way, I'll get that bolt all the way out, and I'll get the new arms in. This is down, undone, out of the way, and then I just need to figure out how to undo this upper, which will be probably 22. It's not 24. Just undoing the top of this shock. We undo the 4 nuts, not the one big nut. So that is what holds the whole assembly together. Can be very dangerous if you do that. That's one shock out. And now, I've got the upper arm out and the big bolt out. So now, let's get some arms out. 1, 2. They're packaged good, they don't want them going anywhere. So this is the sort I need just here. Let's get these in the car. Next step, now that that's loosely in there, it said you only need to use the washers that come with it if there's more than 1 to 2 mil gap. I've got pretty much no gap, so perfect fit, as to be expected. It's not an old car, hasn't been beat up. Everything just fits how it should. Now to get the new strut assembly in the car. Right, so just take a look at these things. These are a work of art. Beautiful, nice, anodized everything, including the top hat. New nuts. Superior has done a great job on these shocks. Not the smallest thing to try and manhandle. I figured I've left the music on because you can time lapse this. I've already done the other side. Alright, now that I've got both sides together, I still need to do up the top one and whatever while it's down on the ground. So to do that, I'm going to put the wheels back on the car. Let's get it.
That was the front and rear suspension installed, tightened up on the ground and looking absolutely amazing.
Next up on the lift kit, because they're ECDS electronically controlled dampening system shocks, I need to install the controller, which, if we open the box up, it looks like it is pretty simple. We have the brains of it. I'm pretty sure it takes power and earth, and then it has 5 of these. You might say 5. There's 1 for each shock, and then there's also 1 for the controller, which this goes on your dash. You can change rear, front, hard, soft. You can change a whole bunch of stuff. So I need to run all of these. You might think, how are your shocks going to reach them? They have extensions for everything. So controller extension, each shock extension. Pretty much just got to run them from outside the car to in the car, give it power and earth, and then shocks should be ready to adjust on the fly. So the benefit of doing these over, you know, your normal remote res shocks is to adjust them, you've got to stop the car, get out, twist your things, hop back in, and you probably can't really tell straight away what the difference is. With this, you can just change it by the twist of a knob on the fly as you go, and you can actually feel the difference as you do it. Because, you know, you're not going from driving, bumpy, stopped to do it. You can just drive. If it's too bumpy, turn it, until it's how you want it, and you can actually feel it adjust. I recently was on Morton with Mac and TJ and a bunch of the boys, and TJ has these in his car, and let me tell you, the ride quality on that thing, on some of those inland tracks, was incredible. So I think Tyler's really looking forward to it. I'll probably never get a go of driving this thing because it's too flash for me, but I have firsthand felt the difference that these make when you change them on the go. I forgot to say, another day in the shed, mate. Another day in the shed. I'm just looking in here for somewhere to wire it. It says behind the dash is a pretty common spot. There's the most room, like up behind the glove box. But I'll give you a look. If you come down here, plastic trims everywhere. So I'm gonna have to pull that off, but you can see my predicament is with showing you how I'm doing it. There's not much room, so I'm gonna wait, find somewhere to put it, give you an update once I figure that out. Alright, so I've got all the wires pushed through the firewall. I've got the control box just sitting here. I've got the lead for the control knobs hanging in here. I'm going to mount them all somewhere up in there, but I just wanted to run them. So I've got all these plugged in. A little bit of extra length in case I need to move it. But then to get all that through, I've got it through the factory grommet. I've used my snap-on wire insertion tool, which you've all seen before. But then I've also put labels, so because they're plugged on that end, you know, rear left, rear right, front left, they're all labelled. I've just got these all set out for here now, out here. I've had to pull out the battery tray and the battery composite tray and the tie down, so I'm going to put that back in, get the battery hooked back up, and then I'll be able to have 12 volt because I need to wire that box in there to accessories. So I'm going to rip in, get that tray back in, that tray back in, and that battery back in. And then I'll give you another update once it's all ran, because once I get all them ran to the shocks too, I need to, you know, conduit, or I might even use conduit with the car builder's wrap on it. Try and keep it away from all heat sources and anything that where it can get crushed or squished or broken. So it's a little bit fiddly on this, but I'm hooking in, I'm getting it done. I've got the shocks wired in, and look at this. Boom. So I've got this control knob, I've got it on set to 100, so it's really fine increments. But you know, you twist them and then you can actually hear the shocks going and adjust. You can go down to, you know, 5, so there's only 5 points of adjustment, and there's really big adjustments. You can do all sorts. You can do individual too, so, you know, boom, it's only the front right needs to stiff. You can do pretty much everything with these things. So, pretty cool. I'm gonna go give it a test drive.
And, well, somehow, Berto came home from the test drive with some new tyres and wheels fitted up. The big 300 was really starting to come together now. The tyres are the Predator All-Terrains in a 285/65 R18, which equates to about a 32.5 inch tyre, only one size bigger than factory, but keeps her all nice and legal with the 2-inch lift, and it's only a light tourer, not built for those extreme tracks. The wheels are from RAH and are an 18 inch, which kept them off the brake calipers, and they're a plus 40 offset, which should keep them roughly in line with the guards.
Alright, it's another day in the shed. Nearly done on the 300 series. A few small things I still need to tackle for him, but as you can see, we've got the new rims and tyres installed. So we've got RAH rims, non-bead lock, because this is just, you know, your mum bus, run around, don't need anything crazy. And we've actually gone for a Predator AT. Just got a package from Frontrunner. It's a couple of heavy duty quick release brackets for a 270. So gonna mount these up on the car, gonna mount these to the awning, and we're gonna be able to take the awning off whenever we don't wanna use it. These look like very strong, very tough brackets. We've got fitting kit. Gonna get this mounted up on the roof, and then I'll disconnect these bits, the quick release, and I'll get them on the awning. Now that both the brackets are on, quick release these ones off, and then I'm gonna go put these on that. These come with all stainless steel fitting kits, no rusty bolts, but it's probably best bet to use anti-seize so they don't bind up if you ever need to undo them. Alright, boom, 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 cheeky dome, you on?
Yeah, we're on.
Alright, so that's the awning installed. We ended up going with the Outback Tourer 180 degree for the reason the rear's got a tailgate that lifts up, so it already gives you some protection, and I think a 270 would wrap around and hit the tailgate, so we're not going to use one of them. But let's open it up and have a bit of a look at it. Boom.
That's her setup. Nice, quick, easy, simple setup. It's a freestanding awning, but it does have legs, and then you can tie it down if it gets really windy. And then underneath the legs too, you got lights in there.
But if you have a look at these too, these are like actual fabricated alley like brackets, so these are way stronger.
And then it comes with some plugs. You got 4 lights, 1, 2, 3, 4. You just simply plug them in, and then they're USB. Comes in the bag here, so there's your tie down ropes for it, and there's your lights. With the awning mounted on the big 300, it was really starting to look like a proper tourer now. Next up, we did have a final piece of the suspension rock up from Superior. Berto had to get on.
So, the next suspension mod I'm doing, the last one, is Billet alloy coil seat bracket kit. So this goes under your spring perch, and when you add heavy duty springs, they have more chance of those perches collapsing. This braces them. So the engineers at Superior thought, hey, they're not going to be strong enough by the time we add all this extra weight and then the extra spring rate. And they've made these beautiful anodized billet alloy spring perch like seat spaces. So they just go up under it. It's easy as sliding them in, doing them up. That's one installed, try and find the other one.
Boom, boom. Do us a quick sound check for
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, all right, we're good.
All right, so another day. We're next to the shed today. I'm back working on the 300 series. I've got a beautiful bag from ARB. You're probably thinking, what's in a bag from ARB? So I told Tyler stop ruining his car, and we've ordered some nice floor mats. I don't want them falling out of the bag, let me tell you that. They're all in one bag, that's why it was so hard to get out. I was trying to pull them out one at a time. We have these, they're really nice, moulded, and they even clip in with the factory so they don't slide around, get under your pedals and all that stuff. It's gonna keep it heaps easier to keep his car clean when he goes mountain biking and crashing, because he gets back in covered in dirt. I reckon this one will be passenger. So let's go rip around and we'll see how easy they go in. Boom. Twist the knob. We're installed. And look at that. It sits here and then it goes up and over. So when you get dirt in there, sweep it straight out. Doesn't get stuck in the crack.
That's actually a very nice floor mat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, well, everything ARB's beautiful, mate. Oh, look at that. And like it even comes up here like an inch or two up the side, because you know you always rest your foot on that edge.
That's the best floor mat I've seen, I reckon.
They're very aesthetic too. I think Damien's gonna like them.
Now, back ones.
Yeah, the back.
Mate, I'm paying a mechanic to install floor mats. I reckon I nearly could have done this job myself.
Yeah, but I need someone to point a camera at me. It's hard outside, so that's where you come in handy. You're worth more money pointing a camera. So I got the rear ones. Bit trickier, it's one piece. There's no clips on this one, but
I could even probably help you on this one.
No, don't even touch it. One person install. Beautiful. Goes right over the edge too. Now the kids can't get their dirty mitts all over his car.
That's actually going to be really good, because I always stress about this kid getting in the car and wrecking everything.
So like, I don't know, earlier in this episode you see me put these seat covers on.
That was last episode.
Right. Last episode you see me put these seat covers on, and Tyler was like pestering me like, oh, we need to get them in, we need to get them in, we need to get them in. You know, the car's getting sort of dirty and whatever, he's trying to take care of it. And I said, let's get some bloody nice floor mats. Them ones you got, they're for comfort, they're not for off-road. But these ones, off-road, mate, they're good.
And it doesn't end there. I think we got one more bag for in the back.
Yeah, so we got like a boot liner. So when he chucks his F bike in, it's not going to wreck all the carpet in the back. All right. So this one's got a couple of slots because obviously the seats fold, and you can they can stay when the seats go up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And they also have a little bit of Velcro, so it doesn't just. It's just going to grab into the carpet.
Yeah, because I thought I'd have to just pull it out when I wanted to use the back seats, but it works with it.
Obviously it's been folded up in that bag, so put a little heat on this and it's going to be good. You know how this is like multiple compartments?
Oh yeah, they've set it all up so you can still use everything.
Yeah, yeah, like there's thinner bits here and then bits, so it actually folds up.
Maybe.
They fold up, and I reckon these will just go over like that, because that's a cutout for that and that's a cutout for that. What do you reckon about that, mate?
That's cool. And then...
Damn, son.
And everything's up with it.
That still works.
Alright, so the floor mats are installed. I bring the car in, now we're moving on to the next thing. I have an ARB brushless single air compressor, a tyre pump up kit, And I have this mount, which mounts this in the engine bay from Scrub King. So the whole point of putting this in the car is to make sure I can pump tyres up, and we've got air free spool on the winch. So to have the winch's free spool work, we need to have a compressor, and potentially Tyler might get some lockers down the track.
And then how come we're putting this in the engine bay? Like, we got ourselves a special bracket so we didn't just do a bodge, you know,
Well,
bolt
normally
it to
I just drill everything through the floor of our cars. They're old cars, that's where they fit, you keep them nice and tight. This is $100,000 brand new Land Cruiser. I imagine there's random aircon vents, sound deadening, and whatever else under there. So we figured we keep this in the engine bay. It also keeps the sound down. Like, we don't care in our cars, but I'm sure Demi isn't going to want to have to put up with this thing buzzing away under the seat. Let's just buy a bracket that bolts in. So the bracket just comes with a few different options. It has a full pump up that goes on this bracket, which mounts to the compressor, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to bolt this to this, and then this hose will go from the compressor over to this, which will allow us, you know, just pop the bonnet to pump tyres up. And the other good thing is, normally you have to have your compressor switch in the car. You just have it on this bracket as well. So all the wiring should stay in the engine bay. I don't have to go through the firewall. All right, so this is the bracket they give you. I think there's a couple of different slots for maybe different compressors you can put on it. But it fits from the looks down here, which will take, this bolt will come out of that, slide in. There's a bolt for this resi, and there's a bolt for this line, and that'll just bolt in, and then the compressor will bolt straight on top of that. Look at that, mate. It looks a bit different to the other ones.
So what's the difference with these new brushless ones?
The motor is brushless. So you know how I showed you that motor yesterday, and it had the little brushes on the end on the winch?
Oh yeah.
They're brushes. So this doesn't have them. I don't know how these work, but they don't have them.
They're just better.
They are better. And I think they can spin way faster, a bracket. And I know the bracket with these brushless ones are actually quick release. So like,
that's cool.
See how they got all these ribs? But they just clip into them. Boom, like that. So you can rotate it, this bracket anywhere to have this any position you want, just by moving this. So we'll figure out how we're gonna need that. I'll put the little filter back on. We've got a switch, we've got the wiring loom, we've got all of it. I've got it all figured out, it's all wired up, installed and working. I've just put some car builder's protective wrap on this hose just so it doesn't rub through, it's close. And then I've got, you know, obviously fill your tyres up from here, switch here. But for that to work, I've got to go and turn the key on. So give me a sec, then.
Beautiful. Ready to pump up some tyres, run an air free spool, and maybe some lockers one day.
Yeah. So look at that, nice neat install. Haven't checked if it fits under the bonnet, I imagine it does. From the height of everything, it looks like it'll be good.
So that's the 300 series, really starting to come together now. Another round of modifications done to it. It's all looking absolutely beautiful. Something did happen though, which Berto can explain. After the suspension went in, the bolts on this, the factory bolts are a little bit weird, or factory nuts.
Yeah, apparently the factory suspension components on these are like a one-time use. So all the bolts and nuts, I'm pretty sure they're like a weird purple color from memory while they're still new. They're all one-time use. They've got these little tabs that like do up and then lock them. So once you reuse them, they just come loose. And this thing was actually due for a service like just after we did it.
Yeah.
And it hadn't even done 500K since we've done it, so it hadn't been back in to get a recheck. But my friend Benny, the mechanic, said all these are like nearly out, but his solution was new bolts and washers and nylocks that are like high tensile and like torque to spec, which I don't think we've had an issue yet, but we still got to put it up and triple double check.
Yeah, so it's done about another 1,000K, so we've got to put up for a 1,000K suspension check, which should do after, but we thought we'd say in the video because people would have just seen you doing them back up. Yeah. So if you have a 300 and you're going to do suspension on it, or you have a mate or whatever, be careful. Because I know Benny said the upper control arm nuts were fully gone.
Yeah.
Like, rear diff was about to
fall out of it.
Go see it later out of it.
And it really hadn't done any driving.
No, it only done a couple 100Ks or something. They literally, once you did them up again, they just rewound themselves straight back out.
Yeah, and it's not something that most people know. Like, I think he only knew because he looked into like the random technical data and like figured out why it's happened.
Yeah.
Because like we all know, like I did them up tight with the rattle gun and whatever, and they're like
Well, you talked and paint penned them all too.
Yeah, I paint penned them all and everything. So
That
like,
didn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. I suppose upcoming mods to the 300, mate. What, maybe we'll ask the people. What do they want to see? What do they want to see you do to it next?
Yeah, and what do they want to see us do with it in general?
Yeah, so next episode will be the first trip in this, which has already been filmed. So I went up to Barrington Tops. Berto wasn't there. It was just a family trip. Didn't do hard four driving, but just some touring. I had the caravan. I was full grandpa spec. We had a 300 series and caravan on the back. That's why you went there.
I don't know if you can't see this in the lighting, but if you look on top of his head, he's pretty much fully grey. Any yellow light is just from the lights on the roof. So
yeah, that's her, mate. She's coming together. We'll see everyone in the next episode.